Welcome to Practical Research Drives Profitable Decisions, brought to you by Beck's Hybrids. I'm Mike Adams. Do you have white mold in your soybean fields? If so, you can see it by mid-August, but you can't do anything about it until next year. It's a devastating disease, according to Ben Pisto, Wisconsin-based agronomist for Beck's, that hits your best soybeans.
White mold is one of those diseases where once you get it, you never want to get it again. You just don't forget because it can be so detrimental. And the sad part is white mold takes its biggest toll on high-producing soybeans.
Pisto paints a black and white picture of fields in the Great Lakes region, down into northeast Iowa, and other areas that share environmental conditions favorable for white mold infection and growth.
It really needs 70 to 85 degrees and prolonged, humid, wet conditions. And if you think about it, that's really most of the Great Lakes region in the summer. So white mold is tricky because it infects really in June. When the first flowers appear near the ground is really when the infection occurs. But we really just start to see the symptoms of it usually in the middle to end of August. Once you've seen the first sign of the white mold actually on the stem, you'll start seeing what I call the dead carcasses appear. They will die from the bottom up, and you will just see the sticks sticking out throughout the field. It can be completely across the field, but many times we see white mold infecting patches, especially where the beans were especially tall and dense.
What can a grower do about this disease? Pisto says it has to be a multifaceted approach, but it does not have to cost money to make the initial changes.
But we can pick varieties that show tolerance. That would be number one. The number two thing would actually be to lower your soybean population. And our practical farm research has showed we can go down to 100,000 seeds dropped with the planter and still maximize yield. And that really helps against white mold as well because we have thinner canopy. And then the third thing would really be treatments and fungicides. So foliar fungicides. And then, on top of that, if we can add a new treatment like our Escalate and Nemesect SDS Plus, contains a biological to help stimulate a hormone response in the plant, that also goes ahead to help as a combined strategy approach to manage white mold. That's
Ben Pisto, Wisconsin agronomist for Beck's. In review, you aren't going to get rid of white mold in your soil, so plant resistant soybean varieties. Reduce the seeding rate. Use Escalate seed treatment and a fungicide to give beans a fighting chance in a hot and wet environment. For crop year 2020, Beck's will offer a seed treatment to suppress white mold. It's called Escalate and combines with Nemesect and SDS Plus to start plants out with protection so growers can gain higher yields and fewer problems in their fields. This monthly update on practical farm research and agronomy has been brought to you by Beck's Hybrids. You may subscribe to this podcast by following the prompts on this website. Thanks for listening.